Dear Meg, I feel so terribly stupid about that whole reading day thing. Because guess what? Monco has a reading day, and maybe yours is reading week, but we do have a reading day, and I didn't notice it till I looked on the website. So the end of school is approaching really, really, really fast. Has anybody else noticed this at all, or is it just me? Because I'm like, can't wait till the end of the semester and I can just sleep. I've actually already finished a final. Yay! Yay! Party, party. For psychology, which was a presentation, and my topic was on mental illness and the media's portrayal of mental illness. It was a really good presentation. I had a lot of fun doing it, although I was really stressed out beforehand. But I guess it's kind of because it was my final for Psych, and there's not much I can do afterwards. But I still have, like, over 100 in that class, so I guess it went well. I ended up talking about how in film and on television, the media obviously, and maybe it isn't obvious to everyone, but the portrayal that the media presents of mental illness and the stigmas associated with it, it's just really negative. I ended up talking about some of the shows that have a really negative portrayal of mental illness, like Criminal Minds, House even, Pretty Little Liars, and what was the other one? Oh, like One Life to Live and All My Children and soap operas. But there are also shows that have actually moved in a positive way and have won awards for it. Like Monk, Scrubs is actually one of them. And I can't not remember the other two that I mentioned. But, I mean, the point is that they're finally starting to move in a way to show that people with mental illness are not dangerous. And not that they aren't dangerous, but not to the degree that TV portrays them to be, and not everyone. Because people who have mental illness, when they do commit a crime, the population, the percentage of the mentally ill population is about the same as the percentage of the non-mentally ill population who commit crimes. I think that made sense. I'm not really sure. Okay, let me reword that. The percentage of people who are mentally ill that commit crimes is no different than the percentage of people who are not mentally ill that commit crimes based on the population of the two separate groups. Just basically general TV shows show like 75% of mentally ill characters as like killers or someone who hurts others. So it's a lot different than it really is. And then I also talked about movies and how Disney is actually kind of not so positive about mental illness. But I'm not really going to get into that because I could talk about that forever. What I'm also not really going to get into is the whole Penn State thing, because just everything about that makes me so angry and just, ugh, oh my god. What I just think everybody should look at, without getting into details or anything like that, is how the children feel. Because to me, it just seems, in all the coverage and everything that's been said, people really aren't looking at how the kids feel. And that bothers me the most, because when something like this happens to you, that's not something you get over. You're never going to outgrow that. That's not something you're going to forget. So, just, ugh. People just seem to be overlooking the fact that people were hurt. And not overlooking, but they really aren't taking everything into account. And by they, I'm not talking about everyone. I am not generalizing. But enough hasn't been done for these kids. And I guess basically the point I want to make is that this didn't just happen at Penn State. This happens everywhere. So when people are going ahead and saying, oh, well, look at Penn State, it's not just Penn State. This happens at colleges across the country. It happens in high schools across the country. It happens in rec centers. It happens in, like, community. It just happens in the communities. And people just tend to forget about that. And then they tend to forget about the kids. They look at, oh, well, what could have been done to prevent this? But then they don't go ahead and apply it later on because it's still happening. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because just everything else about it makes me really angry. And I applaud Katie for not talking about it. I understand that, you know, you don't want to talk about it, because there's so much involved. No one person, okay, maybe there are a few people who know all the details, but like a lot of stuff we've been hearing is hearsay, and then, you know, there's a lot of stuff that just needs to be taken into consideration. And, you know, if you don't want to talk about it, I understand, so I'm not judging you on that at all. Anyway, so what did I do this week? Not a lot. I went to Millersville to see Julia, and she was in a little performance. Not little, actually. They did a really good job. Like, I severely applaud them. I don't think that's the words I want to use. I seriously applaud them. They were really good. So basically, just this week I saw Julia. I did my final presentation for psychology. I sewed a lot because next week is Hell Week for Graeme. There's a woman on Criminal Minds called Michelle Watson, huh? Didn't come say hi?
Oh, I didn't notice you were videotaping.
Do you want to come say hi anyway, because you didn't notice?
Yeah, I thought you were talking to yourself.
You thought I was talking to myself. Come sit, because I was just about to talk about you.
Hell Week.
And Hell Week, yeah. Okay, so, this coming week is Hell Week for Graeme. How do you feel about that?
Hellish.
Hellish? That's cute. You're cute. Okay, so, who are you in The Music Man?
You know who I am.
Graeme, please, elaborate for us.
Okay. I am the farmer. I'm understudy for J.C. Squires. I'm part of the quartet. And I guess I'm part of Shapoopy.
Shapoopy, sorry. I love that song.
Oh no.
I think I have a bug bite on my arm.
Townspeople.
What are you most excited about for the performance?
Shapoopy.
What are you least excited about?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, that's a good answer. Okay, you can go to bed. Alright, so that's really all I've got to talk about. And I am very much looking forward to seeing all of the rest of your videos this week.